Doctors said it was over. They came back anyway. This isn't about trophies. This is about fighting your own biology and refusing to lose. In 1 second, his leg bent in a way it never should. For many, it looked like the end of a career. In 2014, during a Team USA scrimmage, Paul George landed awkwardly after colliding with the basket stanchion following a block attempt. The force of the landing fractured his leg in one of the most graphic injuries basketball had seen in years. The arena went silent. Players turned away. Coaches feared the worst. Doctors called it a long and uncertain road back. Some questioned if he would ever be the same athlete again. Rehabilitation replaced basketball. Strength turned into stability drills. Confidence had to be rebuilt before muscle. For months, the body that once felt unstoppable felt fragile. Every step felt like a reminder of how close everything came to ending. But George refused to let that moment define his career. Step by step, season by season, he returned, not just to play, but to compete at the highest level again. He became an all-star once more, a leader, a star who proved that 1 second doesn't have to end everything. At his peak, his career didn't just pause. It was his life that was suddenly at risk. In 2011, doctors discovered a tumor in Eric Abidal's liver. Football stopped mattering. Survival became the priority. He underwent surgery, then a liver transplant, a procedure few elite athletes ever returned from. Recovery wasn't about training sessions or tactics. It was about walking again, breathing normally, and rebuilding strength from zero. For months, the question wasn't when he would play again. It was whether he should. Every training session felt secondary to simply being alive, but Abidal refused to see himself as finished. Against medical uncertainty, he returned to professional football. He stepped back onto the pitch at the highest level, surrounded by teammates who never expected to see him there again. Eric Abidal didn't just return to football. He returned from something that should have ended everything. He walked away from boxing and almost from himself. In 2015, Tyson Fury became the heavyweight champion of the world. By 2016, he had disappeared. Not from rankings, from structure, discipline, and routine. He gained weight, lost direction, and stepped away from the sport that once defined him. Depression replaced training. Chaos replaced order. For months, boxing felt distant. Purpose felt absent. By 2017, many assumed his career was over, not because his body failed, but because the mind collapsed before the body ever did. The heavyweight division moved on. He didn't. The man who once controlled fights struggled to control his own routine. In 2018, Fury decided to return. He rebuilt his routine, his discipline, and his identity. Training returned, focus returned, structure returned. The heavyweight division felt his presence once again. He didn't just come back to fight. He came back to prove control over the part of his body that couldn't be seen. One tackle changed everything. For a moment, football didn't matter anymore. In 2018, Washington quarterback Alex Smith suffered a devastating leg injury during a regular season game. The fracture was severe and complications followed. Infection spread. Doctors performed multiple surgeries. At one point, amputation was discussed. For months, walking was uncertain. Playing football was unimaginable. Rehabilitation replaced playbooks. Basic movement replaced competition. The league moved on. Most assumed his career was over. Every milestone was small, standing, stepping, trusting his body again. For a long time, the goal wasn't football. It was normal life. But Smith refused to accept that ending. By 2020, he returned to an NFL field, something few believed possible. In one crash, he lost both legs. From that moment on, everything changed. In 2001, during a kart race at the Lausitz Ring in Germany, Alex Zanardi suffered a catastrophic crash. The impact was so severe that doctors fought to save his life. He lost both legs above the knee. Racing was over. Survival came first. Before the accident, Zanardi was one of the most respected drivers in motorsport, a former kart champion and Formula One competitor. After it, the world expected him to disappear, but Zanardi refused to accept that ending. Within years, he returned to racing in a hand-controlled car, proving adaptation could replace anatomy. He competed in touring car championships and endurance racing, even returning to iconic events like the 24 Hours of Daytona. In the late 2000s, he found a new arena, hand cycling. By 2012, he was winning Paralympic gold medals in London. By 2016, he was still winning, proving his story wasn't about survival, but performance. Sports are full of champions, but the greatest victories are invisible. Which comeback inspired you the most? Subscribe for more stories about human limits.